Last class, we had discussed about Rhynia, the simplest fossil plant. Today, we will be seeing another fossil plant, Psilophyton, which occupies a crucial evolutionary position among early vascular plants, showing progressive features in branching. If you see the diagram over here, you will see that the branching has become much more complex. We will talk it in detail. Then vascular anatomy, reproduction, and forms an important link between primitive rhinia. Okay, so it will form a primitive link between rhinia uh, and advanced pteridophytes. First, let us check the systematic position. So, division is Tracheophyta. Tracheophyta is, say, they are, when we say Tracheophyta, these are what? These are vascular plants. Vascular plants means they have xylem and phloem. Then plant body will be differentiated into axis and conducting tissues like xylem and phloem. Phloem, of course, is not present means xylem. The tracheids are present, vessels are absent. That we will discuss in the anatomy part. Then what do you call? They will have a dominant sporophytic system. So dominant sporophyte, twice n, dominant sporophytic system. So Tracheophyta. Class is Psilopsida. Class Psilopsida, as we have given, these are early vascular plants. So basically what we mean to say is they are primitive. Then here it is leafless. Okay, leafless. Then no roots as well, so rootless, no roots. And of course they are vascular plants. And here also you will find dichotomy, but with little variation. We will talk about that. Dichotomy is present, but we will see that there is some changes over there. And photosynthetic tissue, the cortex, no, the cortex acts as the photosynthetic tissue because leaves are absent. So cortex acts as the photosynthetic tissue, and reproduction is by means of spores, and the plants are homosporous. The plants are homosporous, and the sporangia are born in terminal in the aerial axis. That means sporangia terminal. Sporangia is terminal in position. Then order is Trimerophytals. Order Trimerophytals, what it shows that all mainly complex branching patterns. Complex branching patterns. That is why they have been kept in Trimerophytals. Okay, and this is mainly what we will see, this unequal dichotomy. Okay, and showing this trend towards what? Pseudomonopodial. So pseudomonopodial means, see here dichotomy is this is dichotomy, isn't it? Now here what will happen? In this case you don't know which is the primary axis, but suppose if I increase it like this, then it appears that this is the primary axis and this is an offshoot which is occurring. So this appears as primary axis. So appears as primary axis is what we call as pseudomonopodial. Okay, and here another very important thing we will see is that they will have a centrarch protostele. Centrarch, R-A-R-C-H. Centrarch protostele. Centrarch protostele. Okay, centrarch protostele means we have earlier learned about in say Rhynia that there is xylem. Xylem is surrounded by phloem, isn't it? So in case of centrarch, what we can say, first formed xylem, that is what we call as protoxylem. First formed xylem is protoxylem, Protoxylem will be at the center, then the secondary xylem, the next xylem will be metaxylem surrounding the protoxylem, okay, and then the phloem would be there. So a arrangement of this nature where protoxylem is at the center and metaxylem surrounding it and not having pith, no central pith, pith is absent, okay. So pith is absent, we don't find any pith. So that is what we call a central protostele. And here the sporangia will be large, terminal and borne in clusters, okay. So these are characters of the order Trimerophytals. Sporangia might be in clusters, okay. So this is another important thing. Genus is Psilophyton. So Psilophyton, basically it is Psilophyton in which we can say that this terminal sporangia. So in Psilophyton the characters could be, say, terminal sporangia, so that is why it is in Psilophyton. Then we can say this sporangia which is there, it dehisces longitudinally, dehisces, okay. So dehisces longitudinally, that means the sporangia will split longitudinally to liberate the spores. So and centrac and all those things said. So this is why it is under Psilophyton. When we talk about the geological age and occurrence, so this is extinct vascular plant, just like Rhynia, found in the lower Devonian period and reported mainly from North America, especially Gaspé Peninsula, Canada, Ontario, and Maine, USA. And accordingly, we'll find that the Psilophyton different species are there because they are little different. I will be talking about this in the last slide. Represents one of the most advanced members of Trimerophytals, and hence we are saying that this is a link between, so you can, the most primitive Rhynia and the advanced pteridophytes. Habit: plant body is sporophytic and terrestrial, no problem. So this already said, it is erect, leafless, rootless, with a height ranging from 30 centimeter to 1 meter. And the plant consists of main axis bearing lateral branches, no true leaves or roots, anchoring probably rhizomatous basal system or rhizoids, because in the fossils no intact roots and all have been found, and this is what is being supposed, that they have rhizome and they have rhizoids, as we find in Rhynia. If you see the stem which was reconstructed and described, it is cylindrical, green, and this is characteristic of primitive fossil plants, that since they don't have leaves, so the stem itself is photosynthetic in nature. The photosynthetic pigments are present in the cortex. Branching dichotomous, but with a little twist, as I have already said. So here might be, see from here, if you see, it appears that this is one branch which is a lateral offshoot, but this is the primary branch, isn't it? It appears like that, but it need not be so. It is dichotomy, but unequal dichotomy. That is what you are talking about. So lateral branches are forming then complex branching system. Some species bore small spine-like outgrowths called innations. This is another, but not characteristics of all the species. Some species, they will have small outgrowths, like that, small outgrowths, okay, leaf-like structure. This can be called as what you call, I think, microphyls or something like that. Microphyll-like structure. I mean small leaf like structure, but not leaves. But you will find not in all Psilophyton, in only one of them we find microphylls. When we talk about the internal structure, the vascular tissue is well developed. We have already said that xylem is present and the xylem is central. This we have understood, that protoxylem surrounded by metaxylem with protoxylem in the center. Tracheids elongated and scalariform, and phloem poorly preserved but presumed to be present. The sporangia and reproduction part, so they will all reproduce by spores, and here also it is homosporous, which is a characteristics of the primitive plants. And the sporangia are terminal, borne singly or in clusters at the tips of fertile branches. Sporangia are large and robust, size is fusiform to ovoid, and this is a characteristic they has longitudinally by a slit. So this is splitting will occur and the spores will be released. And spore production is abundant, indicating effective terrestrial adaptation. So these are the three species which is described: Psilophyton princeps, Psilophyton dawsoni, and Psilophyton forbesii. Okay, and this is the best known species, tall plant. I have made a comparative account of these three. We can see it in the last slide. Then when we talk about the affinities and evolutionary significance, we see that it is a little advanced than Rhinia. Okay, it is advanced because it has got a much more complex vascular development, and the sporangial organization is much more complex than you call this could be a connecting link, or you can say a plant in between Rhinia and the more advanced plant groups such as Cladocylins, Synopteidales, and then primitive ferns and gymnosperms. Okay. Now, when we talk about the life cycle, so life cycle in preserved form we have not found, but these are all conclusions which the paleontologist has made, in which what they have said that Toisson, that means the sporophyte, this is the dominant phase. Okay, the sporophyte is the dominant phase, and in this plant at the terminal end they will have this sporangia. Inside the sporangia, what will be produced? The spores will be produced. The spores will be produced by meiosis. Okay, so here this is, so from sporangia, now spores we can say, inside is spores. This is sporangia. Okay, inside the sporangia we find the spores. The spores will be formed by meiosis. So this will be now haploid in number and in number. These spores will then germinate. The spores will germinate, and it will form what you call, it will form the gametophytic plant. It will form the gametophyte. It will form the gametophytic plant. So this is the end. These gametophytes, this will bear the reproductive organs, gametophytes. Which reproductive organs? The male reproductive organ, antheridium. The male reproductive organ, antheridium. This is the male part, male reproductive organ, and archegonium, which is the female reproductive organ. So this antheridium and archegonium. Antheridium will produce what you call the anthrazoid. Antheridium will produce the anthrazoid or the male gamete, isn't it? So male gamete. So this male gamete will, within the archegonium, what will be produced? Egg will be produced. These are all n in number. So this egg, male gamete, and this will fuse to form zygote. Zygote is twice n in number. This zygote will form the, multiply and form the young sporophyte. Young sporophyte, which is again twice n, and this young sporophyte will give rise to the diploid sporophyte. So this kind of life cycle is called as haplodiplontic life cycle. So you are finding an haploid phase, the gametophytic phase, as well as a sporophytic phase, but the sporophyte is the dominant phase. Next, just in a chart form, let us look at this three species which has been reconstructed and described as I have given. Psilophyton princeps explained by Dawson 1859, Psilophyton forbesii and Hughes and Casper 1968, and Psilophyton dawsoni, Banks, Lesrick and Huber in 1975. So these are found all in the geological age, nearly same age, Lower Devonian, And the geological occurrence, this was found in the Gaspé Peninsula, Canada. This was in North Miami, USA, and this was in Ontario, Canada. The plant size, this is relatively tall and robust. Here, when we check out different literatures, you will find that in some they have given Forbesii as the robust, uh, more robust. Okay, but in terms of size, we find that this is bigger in size. Okay, robust means we've understood that stout. No, this would be mm, more thicker. The what you call stem, but here the stem would be thin, but then it would be longer in size. So relatively tall. So that is why we have kept that. But in terms of robust, you will find that in some literatures, Psilophyton forbesii has been given more robust, and Psilophyton dawsoni, this is small and slender. This is the most advanced species in terms of complexity. This is intermediate, and this is the most primitive structure. Main axis, here we have said thick and well differentiated, moderately thick. This is thin, and then here branching pattern unequal dichotomous. This is dichotomous. This is simple dichotomous. Lateral branching system, this is well developed because it is unequal dichotomous, so well developed, branches of limited growth, present but less elaborate, and here poorly developed. And that small leaf-like structures which we said enantians, these are present in Psilophyton princeps, but these are absent in Forbesii and dawsoni. Morphological complexity is highest here. They are intermediate and lowest. The sporangia is terminal. In all of them, it is terminal, but size matters. So it is relatively large, this small. And here, the advanced is they are often clustered. So that is why evolutionary status Psilophyton princeps has been told by the paleontologists or the observers as the most advanced, comparing this morphological and anatomical characteristics, and this is intermediate and this is most primitive. So this is winding up Psilophyton for you all. Thank you.